Hello lovelies, welcome back to my channel. In today's video we are going to be learning how to make this two-piece. The pant is a BootCut pant. So if this is what you love to learn, keep on watching. If you love the bag that I'm holding in this video, please subscribe to my second channel at Lillian Crafts. So on that channel I'm going to be putting up tutorial on how to do stuff like this and many more. So thank you all for all your support. Please do well to subscribe to that channel, turn on the notification bell so that when I put up the video you'll be notified. Thank you. Let's get started. For material, we are going to be needing about 3 yards of crepe. So I have 3 yards of light crepe here that is a little bit stretchy. All right, so let's dive into the pattern drafting. First of all, I'm going to create my starting line by coming down by 2 inches at least, and then this is going to be the front block of our pattern. So what I'm going to do after doing that is to go in by at least 5 inches at the side. Right from the side I'm going to go in by at least 5 inches. So the next thing I'm going to do, from my waistline I'm going to come down by 13 inches as my body rise. So my actual body rise is not 13 inches. I added extra 2 inches to my body rise to get what I am using now. So sometimes I use 11, so it just depends on the type of pant I'm making. So for this I added extra 2 inches. So this is my body rise and I'm just going to label it as my body rise. And then the next thing I'm going to do, from my waistline I'm going to come down by at least 24 inches, which is my waist to my knee length. So whatever your waist to knee length is, mark it out just as you can see me do. And then I'm going to label it also as my knee line. And then the next thing I'm going to do is to mark my full length. So from that 24 inches point I'm going to come down by my full length. Remember, at this point is actually your choice. It depends on the length that you want for your pants. So I will also go ahead and then mark my full length like so, as you can see me do, and then I'll go ahead and then label it out as my full length. Next thing I'm going to do is to come over to my waistline and then go in by 1 inch. So I'm going to mark my 1 inch and then take my curve ruler, blend it into my body rise like so. After doing that, I'll come over that 1 inch point. I'm going to mark my hip measurement, divide by 4, and then on my body rise I'm going to divide my thigh by 2 and then add extra 1 or 2 inches depending on how free you want it. So for me, I'm working with 28 inches, so I'm going to be marking 14 inches because 28 divided by 2 is 14. And then what I'm going to do, my hip measurement on my waistline, I'm going to connect it straight down to my body rise like so. After doing that, I'm going to take my ruler and then I'm going to create angle 45 at this point, and then I'll connect it like so. After doing that, I'm going to go out by 1.5 inches on that slanted line like so. And then what I'm going to do is to take my curve ruler, connect everything to the top like so. So after doing that, I'm going to come over to my body rise. I'm going to measure what I have, half of what I have on my body rise. Remember I marked 14 inches, so it's going to be 7. So I'll mark it on my knee line, I'll mark it on my full length, and then I'm going to connect together. So what I'm marking here is half of my thigh measurement. So I will repeat the same thing on my body rise, as you can see, 7 inches, and then I'll connect together. On my knee line, I'll mark my knee circumference divided by 2 plus 1 inch, so that's 5 inch. I'm marking it on both sides. Remember that middle line is the center point, and then on my full length I'm going to be marking 7 inches on both sides, as you can see me do. So after doing that, I'll take my ruler, I'm going to connect from my knee line to the full length like so, and then I'll come over here. I'll also repeat the same thing, connect like so. So after doing that, the next thing I'm going to do is to come over and then use the curvy part of my ruler to blend in from my knee line to my body rise, and then I'll come over to this side. I'll repeat the same thing. After doing it, the depth I have here, I'm going to reduce it by using the curvy part of my ruler to blend. So this is it. I'm going to, on my waistline, I'm going to go in by 1/2 inch. So I went in by 1/2 inch. Then I'm going to use my ruler to connect like so. So this 1/2 inch is going to be off, as you can see. So what we are going to do for my, I'm going to be using band. So for my band, I'm going to be working with 1.5 inch. All right, so I have marked out my 1.5 inch like so, and then all I need to do now is to cut off. So I'm going to go ahead and then cut out. When you are done cutting, bring in a fresh pattern paper, place the front block on it, and then trace out the side. As you can see me do, I'm going to trace it to my full length like so. After doing that, I'm going to come over to my tie line. I'm going to extend it like so, and then extend my slanted line as well, and then I'm going to go out by 1.5 inch and then do the same thing on my tie line, 1.5 inch, and then I will take it down to my full length. After taking it to my full length, I'm just going to connect, as you can see me do, like so, and then I will use my curve ruler to connect this part of it, and then I will blend everything up to my waistline just like we did. So I'm trying to make these points a bit curvy. All right, so I'll do everything to my waistline, and then what I'm going to do is to extend the waistline by 1 inch at those points, as you can see. So I'm going to connect it back to the waistline like so, like so. So this is it for the back block. All I'm going to do now is to cut out. So I'm not adding additional allowance or anything. I'm sewing with 1 inch, with 1/2 inch, sorry. So I don't need any other allowance. Remember, whatever we mark is actually in excess, so it's still going to be free. So I'm not adding any allowance at all. I'm just going to sew off 1/2 inch, and then that's all. So this is it. Let's head over and then cut out on our fabric. So this is the front and the back block. We are going to go ahead and cut out. So on your waistline, leave out 1/2 inch. Remember, we went in by 1/2 inch on our waistline, so leave out 1/2 inch at the top and then cut out. As you can see, I'm not adding any allowance because there's no need. Remember, everything we have here is actually in excess. From on our waistline, we actually mark our hip line instead of our round waist, because I want to use elastic band. And then from our thigh to our knee, everything is in excess, so sewing off 1/2 inch won't affect anything. But if you wish to, you can actually add your own allowance. You can add whatever you wish to add, so that one is on you. All right, so this is it for the front. All you are going to do now is to pin down. So we are going to put it together, align it very well, and then pin down and join by 1/2 inches. Okay, join by 1/2 inch, and then that's all for the front. And then we are going to cut out the back piece. So this back, it will be obvious. You see how I will add my 1/2 inch to the waistline. So just leave out 1/2 inch at the waistline and cut out. All right, leave out 1/2 inch just around the waistline and then cut out. So we are making up for the 1/2 inch we went in with, like I said before, when we were drafting the front block, so that it will pass through your waist, because I'm actually not adding zipper. I'm going to be using an elastic band. What you're going to do, also align this together, pin down. This is the back piece, so pin down and then join by 1/2 inch as well. All right, so go over to your machine, join by 1/2 inch. I will do just that and bring it back. So this is it, already joined by 1/2 inch, and then this is for this also already joined by 1/2 inch. So what we are going to do is to turn it right side facing the right side like so, And then what we are going to do is to bring the crotch together, the front and the back together. Make sure you align it very well. Open up the seam and then pin down. All right, so you are going to pin from that point to the full length on this side, and then repeat the same thing on this other side. Just pin down to the full length. What you're going to do, go over to your machine, join by half inch to the end, do the same thing here, and then come over to the side, also align it together, join by half inch, do the same thing to the other side. I will do just that, and this is it. After doing that, I already joined on both sides by half inch, as you can see. So remember, like I said, I'm going to be using a elastic band for my waist as my waistband. So that was why I actually used my hip measurement on the waistline. So this is my elastic band, and I have a strap of about 4 inches. So I just iron it on fold. That is 2 inches now. And then my elastic band, I have roughly 25 inches. My waist circumference is 27. Remember, it's stretchy, so that is why I cut out 25 inch. So what I'm going to do is to place it here, and then I'm going to fold my elastic, and then I will stitch to the end. All right, so just fold it in and then sew off half inch and bring it back. So this is what I have after doing that. I have my elastic band inside. So all I need to do now is to pin this around the waist circumference. All right, so I'm going to pin it around the waist circumference, then go over to my machine and then join by half inch. So just like I'm going to top stitch the half inch I use in holding it together with the elastic band. Remember, you don't need to sew on the elastic band. So I'm just going to join by half an inch, and then I will bring it back. All right, so I will go ahead and do that, and then I will bring everything back. So guys, welcome back. This is what we have here. So I already joined my elastic band and I hemmed it down. I folded half inch into 2 and then hemmed it down. So this is everything that we have here. So we are going to head over and draft the upper piece. Remember, if you find my video helpful, always leave a comment and subscribe if you are yet to do that. So from the top of the paper, you are going to come down by 2 inches. This is going to be the front, and then that's the back. So from my shoulder line, which is my top line, I'm going to come down by 9.5 inch. So my actual chest line is 8 inches. So I added additional 1.5 inch because the top is not going to have a zipper. So I connected it to the back. All right, so from that point, I'm going to mark my half length of 16 inches from my shoulder line, and then I'm working with the same half length at the back. What we are making is just a normal free blouse or free top, so it's not going to have a dart, no side dart or anything. So I'm going to come down by 9 inches from my half length as my hip length. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and then create my hip line like so, and then I'm going to add extra 2 inches to my hip line. So this is going to be my full length. So this ruler width is actually 2 inches. All right, if you want yours longer, you can add more than that. So this is the waistline, and this is the hip line, and this is my full length. All right, so the next thing I'm going to do now is to come over here. I'm going to go in by 3 inches, and then I'm going to come down by 3 inches for now. All right, so for now I'm just going to mark 3 inches, though I will extend it. All right, so for my shoulder line is supposed to be 7 inches, but I'm going to mark 8 inches on my chest line and then on my shoulder line, because I want to extend the shoulder, and then I will come down by 1.5 inch. I'll connect like so, find the midpoint, and then I will go in by half inch. I will connect it to the slanted line, and then my round bust circumference divided by 4 plus 1.5 inches. All right, remember, like I said, it's going to be free, so I'll go ahead and then connect with my curve ruler to create my armhole, and then I'll come over to my waistline. I'll go in by my waist circumference divided by 4 plus 1.5 inch, and then I'll connect it to my chest line. Then I'll come over to my hip line my hip circumference divided by 4 plus 1.5 inch. All right, then I will connect it back as well to my waistline, then bring it to the full length. So this is it for this. So I'll come over to the back. You maintain the same 3 inches neck width and then neck depth of 1 inch. Then I will create my neckline like so, and then my shoulder measurement divided by 2 plus 1 inch. All right, that's 8 inches. So I'm marking it on both sides and do the same thing here, and then I'll come down by 1.5 inch as my shoulder slants. Then I'll connect it back to my neckline like so, and then I'll find the midpoint as well, and then go in by half an inch. So on my chest line, my round bust circumference divided by 4 plus 1.5 inch, and then I'll take my curve ruler to create my armhole, come over to the waistline, my waist circumference divided by 4 plus 1.5 inch, and then I'll connect it back to my chest line. Do the same thing on my hip line, my hip circumference divided by 4 plus 1.5 inch, then I'll connect it back to like so, and then just bring everything down to the full length. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to come over here. So I'm going to come down by 8 inches as my neck depth. All right, and I'm going to connect. So I'm going to go in by 4 inch instead of that 3 inches. And this point I made a mistake. I actually extended it to my 9.5 inch length, that is neck depth, instead of stopping at that 8 inches. Please don't make the same mistake, except you saw my finished look, except if you actually want the same thing. So this is 1 inches allowance that I'm adding for sewing, and then the rest side I'm adding just half inch. But if you want yours to actually be this open, all right, you don't have any problem, you can extend yours to 9.5 inch, but it will literally be a bit deep. So I'm adding 1 inch for hemming at the down, as you can see, and then the rest half inch. So this is what I have, and I'm going to go ahead and then cut out. What we are going to do is to cut out. So we are cutting everything on fold. All right, remember it's not going to have zipper, so cut out on fold. So this is it. After doing that, I already cut, as you can see, this is the front, and then this is it for the back piece. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to open it up like so, and then I'm going to place the front on its right side facing the right side. Remember the front we actually use 4 inches, while the back 3 inches. So I'm cutting out extra 1 inch at the shoulder line to make up for the one we went out with at the front. So I already joined by half an inch at the shoulder line. So I'm going to take the round neckline measurements. So when taking the round neckline, we are going to take this measurement as many times as possible, so until you get the same figure twice. All right, or you can do whatever you want with the neckline. Actually, you can choose to turn, you can choose to actually follow what I did. So it all depends on you, it all depends on what you want. So you can see me taking the measurement over and over, because it's actually very important to get the accurate neckline measurement. I just went ahead to cut out my collar. So this collar is actually half of my round neckline because it's on fold. All right, so I just curved the edge and then I added half inch. So I'm folding my tape because it's half of my round neckline, and then this is it. All right, so I just curved the edge and then I added half inch that I'm going to use to join at that point. All right, so that's all. I'm just going to go over to my machine now and then join around by, I'm going to join at the edge there by half an inch and then iron out. So this is it after doing that, after joining both edge. So I'm going to place it on the wrong side of my fabric or of my top and then pin down. So in case how I made this collar is not clear to you, this is actually not the first time I'm doing something like this. So I have a tutorial before this one is actually I have this collar on it, so you can just scroll down on my channel and then check the next video for the tutorial on the neckline. All right, so I'm going to join by 1/2 inch around and then turn it to the right side, and then I'll bring it back. So this is it after doing that. All right, so I already joined and then I iron out, as you can see. So I'm going to turn it like so, and then I cut out a strap because we are going to be cinching it on the inside. So the strap, you can see I'm adding it to the wrong side on the front piece, so I am pinning it down on the waistline. So it's actually a little bit too long. I want to reduce the length. All right, so after doing that, I'm going to go ahead and then pin it down on the waistline. So after pinning down here, I'll come over here and then I'll pin down as well. So after pinning, all I need to do is to join by 1 inch. Join by 1 inch on this side, join by 1 inch on this side. So I will do just that, and then I will bring the whole piece back. All right, this is it after doing that. I already joined on both sides. This is what I have. Go ahead and then add whatever sleeve you wish to add and hem it down. So thank you so much for watching. I will share the finished look with us. Hello guys, welcome back. So this is it for the finished look. If you find this video helpful, please don't forget to leave a comment. Remember to subscribe to my second channel. Everything you are seeing in this video is going to be available on that channel. Please do it to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so that when I put up the tutorial, you'll be notified. Thank you all for your support. I will see you in my next video. Bye.